At all, thank you. I think we're about ready, are we? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic. Right, I'm recording now. I think, can we start with where this data's come from, Andrew?
Of course, yeah. Portal Tax Claims has done our own internal research across the country, not just looking at a national figure, but local figures as well. So in Somerset alone, we've found 2,700 businesses with around about £96 million worth of capital allowances yet to be claimed.
So this basically means that money's there and businesses don't know that it's there, and it's going to continue to sit in this pot until they realise or somebody tells them.
Yeah, it goes back to the saying of if you don't know about something, then you're not going to do it. And if you don't claim these allowances, then you won't get them automatically. It's one of those areas where we're trying to tell as many people about it as possible, because the taxman has actually admitted that they haven't done enough to tell the local businesses about it.
Why aren't they told? Because if I was sitting here as a self-employed person filling in self-assessment forms, I would know if I was due a rebate, wouldn't I? The same way as I know how much tax I would have to pay.
Yes, and the problem with, the way to claim capital allowances is actually to inform HMRC in effect of your expenditure on property, and then establish what is and what isn't claimable. And that's where the issue comes from. If you're due a refund, of course, you will know about it, but with capital allowances, it's just deriving those figures to get to the point of being due a refund.
Explain a little bit more about capital allowances for people that have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay. I mean, in very simplistic terms, for small businesses, capital allowances are actually the only form of tax relief available for property expenditure. So with the 2,700 businesses in Somerset alone, for every £100 that they're spending on property, they could be looking to receive up to £20 back as tax relief from the taxman.
And they don't know this. Why don't they know this?
Again, they're not necessarily being told. I mean, we as an organisation work with a number of tax firms, accountancy practices that have admitted perhaps that they can't be an expert in all areas, including this. So work with us to give that service to their clients, whereas, of course, we can only get our message out to a certain amount of people at any one time.
Don't most businesses, though, use accountants? And wouldn't most accountants be aware of this?
A lot of accountants are aware of this, and of course the big four accountancy firms are fully aware of what can and can't be claimed in capital allowances. With perhaps your slightly more local accountancy firms, they cannot physically be experts in all areas, and I suppose resources and knowledge are relatively limited. They're probably very good at what they do, but they can't deal with everything.
So is there a sort of checklist that you could tell me, if a business was listening today, somebody that owned a small business in Somerset, is there a checklist that they could sort of mentally go through? Would it include things like, do I own a property? How would you go about it?
Yeah, I mean, I always work on a very simplistic view of asking yourself two very simple questions. The first of which is, are you subject or do you pay UK tax? And the next one is, have you spent money of any type on a commercial property that you still own today? If you tick yes to both of those questions, then it's definitely worth looking further and perhaps finding out more information.
And how would they go about making a claim?
To make a claim, of course, they would need to work with either an expert or their accountant that knows what they're doing. So the first thing they should probably do is go and speak to their accountants. Following that, if they haven't done that for them already, go onto the HMRC website. And of course, the internet is a great tool. Another place that you can get further information is our website, and we do actually have a page that states how you can make a claim, which is portaltaxclaims.com.
And presumably, is it literally that this money will sit there forever until it's claimed, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, until you claim these allowances, you won't receive the allowances, so you do need to actually inform the revenue that you want to make this claim. But to get to that point, again, you would need to follow those steps previously.
And presumably the revenue aren't going to jump up and down and say, we want to give you money back.
You'd think, of course, the revenue have asked the industry to come out and tell people about these allowances. So hopefully the people of Somerset today will be fully aware of capital allowances.
But for some of the businesses we're talking about, it could actually be the difference between whether they actually stay trading or go under.
Could well be. I mean, the beauty of capital allowances is that not only will you save money today, but you can save money on every single future tax liability while these allowances are still around. So not only could you reinvest into your business this year, but also next year and the year after to perhaps then use this money in different ways to improve your business, perhaps even create jobs.
Was it a shock or a surprise to you that there's this much money floating around Somerset that hasn't been claimed?
I've worked in capital allowances for a number of years now, and actually the 8.5 billion figure was a little bit higher. But the amount of organisations that I've spoken to in the past and the amount that have and haven't claimed is a huge difference between the two.
Andrew, lovely to talk to you. Thanks for clearing that all up for us. Nice to speak to you today.
Thank you, Matt. Bye-bye.
All the best. Bye.